So fresh off the press, because I figured if I didn't have one, Jack would bitch. So
when do I ever bitch?
He'll bitch if you have one. So
yeah, exactly.
Lose.
Yeah. So see if you can spot this one. The song's 32 years old.
Way down upon the swan.
Wait. It's funny how you forget rhythm. like
3, 5, and 2. 1.
I never had rhythm.
Hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came. Oh, I started singing that. I totally had a crossover in my head.
It was down at the ramble cast, talking to 3 odd guys. Mr. Jack strikes up a conversation about the charges of some random show, and Chris interrupts him constantly.
I don't.
He suddenly mutes the mic, and we all love the Ramblecast. Yeah, we all love the Ramblecast. So come join us live on the podcast. Sha la 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 la. Yeah. It does sound like
hold on a second.
Yeah, well, it's the same chord progression.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I don't like the bitch. If you didn't say anything about Matt.
Yeah, he did.
He mutes the mics.
Yeah, I mute the mics.
Oh, Matt.
I don't fucking interrupt Jack.
No, you interrupt Matt. I mean,
that's true.
Nick.
I'm going to interrupt you all by muting you and say that was your best one yet.
Nice.
So, I mean, you weren't here last week, and then you come back with that.
It was a good job.
Yeah.
Wow, you got a good job.
Thank you. That was yeah, it was. I wrote that.
Hey,
like
I always say it's your best one yet. I mean, I don't see how that's negative.
No, it's because it's always
And it's time for a commercial break, says Mike.
Well, we're supposed to be adding more commercials, I guess.
Well, I mean, Colleen told us that like a while back. It's supposed to be a minimum of 3.
Well, because I noticed that
Minimum.
because we're doing the Amazing Race now, and I uploaded everything, get everything going, and it says you need more commercials. I go, well, it's only 20 minutes long, 25 minutes long. I'm arguing with the machine, the algorithm. But no, fuck it. I said no. I'm not putting any more commercials. Yes, that was her name, Liz Loza. Remember the sport?
Yeah.
No.
You weren't there for that discussion because that was in the first hour, and we only went an hour last week. So
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually Mike joins us in for the last hour. So
well, he's usually at karaoke, right?
Yeah, maybe we scared him. He was just like, "Oh, I gotta make it." They're gonna talk about Russ and the old days again.
I was really looking forward to listening to you guys too on the flight because sometimes.
Oh, thanks.
But Colleen didn't post the show. I mean, she posted it, but she didn't post it to iTunes until like day before yesterday. And
yeah, I don't know if it was up at all because anyway.
Well, I'm sorry that you missed out on all of our things that we said, but
yeah, I'll go back at some point.
I think the only thing that I may have said is that I was really enjoying White Lotus.
Yeah,
which means Nick will probably hate it.
Yes, we
actually. Really?
I was like, well, I'm really enjoying this. And
to be fair, I think we all said that, and I haven't seen it yet. I know, but I agreed with you that Nick probably doesn't like it.
Why? I
because
I was liking it.
You talk about negative Nancy.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, yes, I am negative. I know that about myself, but it's more criticism because I want it to be good. Like I want it to be the best it possibly can, and I've enjoyed this season of White Lotus. Well, good. Because like Chris and I really subscribe. I'm sure you guys too. I subscribe to the 7 Deadly Sins theory.
Yes,
and I said that in the first episode. It's either wrath or gluttony. Yeah, and so far I'm leaning way towards wrath right now, but you don't know.
Okay, so
I haven't watched it yet.
I also have not yet watched it.
Oh, okay.
Well, Nick and I can have a little powwow. I'll just boot you two guys out.
Oh,
so this is going to be our White Lotus section here. where Nick and I just talk White Lotus for just a moment. I'm glad that you're enjoying this season because I don't know. Maybe it's just the attitude that I've had from. I'll bring the other guys back, but they'll probably just interrupt us.
I guess I'll just go over and fuck myself over here.
Oh, so you have watched this season?
No, I have.
No, but I mean, the fourth episode, which just aired, and that's currently where we're at.
Yes,
it felt very much like a setup episode.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But the first three all kind of work as its own little weave there, because the three women, and just
the three kids.
And the three kids, the monkeys, the whole see no
hear
evil,
no evil,
hear no evil,
Yep.
speak no evil. So you just as you watch this, Jack and Chris, watch out for those little elements because they pop up in different ways throughout the episodes, especially the interactions with the three women. Because in each episode, I feel like one of them is either hearing evil, seeing evil,
exactly,
and it's so good, or speaking evil in this in the third one. So it's brilliantly written, well acted, and of course, like all White Lotus, it starts with a murder, and you're just like, who's it gonna be?
Right. But you can see where, like I said, it's not an official theory, but it's one that makes sense. Because I've had so many people that have watched this after, and they're like, I don't get it. I don't get the show. I don't get what the premise is. I don't get it's just people at a hotel. And I'm like, well, think of it this way. Each season is this. And then they really start to enjoy it once you kind of try to figure out what the theme of the season is. And so that's how I enjoy it. And you can see that with the opening of the first episode. You can see it with all three. I mean, the three kids and the three women. Which one is going to be the one that has the wrath in the end? You can see it with the dad. You can see it with you can see it with what's his name? The Southern actor with the him.
I always want to say Walter Gibbons, but
it's Gibbons, the guy that's in Fallout. Yeah, that's
Goggins.
Goggins.
Yeah,
Goggins.
I was saying it the whole time.
I don't need you, Treast. I got that.
I was saying it the whole time, but I was muted.
Yes, you're right, Miami Mike. And why is it every season we are given a unwarranted penis shot in every season?
And they're not even good-looking penises. Am I right?
What's a good-looking penis?
I'm just saying. They're ugly penises.
I like how
congratulations. So Sherry posted in the chat she's retiring from the fruit stand on the 21st. Wow. Are you retiring or retiring from the fruit stand? That's the question. Either way, congrats and good luck on whatever is next.
Retiring or retiring.
So you have no excuse not to hang out with us all night long if you're retired.
That's true.
Yeah. That's 21st is actually my daughter's 13th birthday.
Wow, 13.
Wow.
Hey,
or you can be retired like me and working harder than you did when you were working.
True.
Chris, March daughter fist bump here because my daughter just turned 18. So
hey,
oh God,
my son's turning 40 pretty soon. March. Do I get a?
Wow. Yeah, I guess he is getting. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, last year
there's on retirement, Sherry. That's unbelievably good news. Happy for you. Get some more family time. That's all that matters. Yes. Jobs are only what you do during the day to allow you to do the shit you want to do at night, or vice versa, depending on your schedule.
Yeah, or whatever you do at night. It's all right.
Take a wow.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Maybe you have to see an ugly penis. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to quote one of the Chappelle Show's episodes where they're talking about Michael Jackson, he's like, he's like was it Michael Jackson? What's Dave Chappelle? I think it was Dave Chappelle. He's talking about that. He's like, they said that the kid picked out Michael Jackson's penis in a lineup. he's like, I couldn't even identify my own penis in a lineup. He's like, let me guess, it's got a head and a shaft and some hair.
Well, we learned that Bill Clinton's penis is crooked.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
that's what we learned.
I don't
we
remember.
We learned that President Trump is a
mushroom. Yeah.
When you're dropping your pants for everyone, unfortunately, word gets out, right?
Yeah.
Word gets around.
I did have a woman ask me that one time. Is your dick curved? I was like, no, it's just a regular penis.
It to be?
Are we gonna fuck around the corner?
Yeah. And I was like,
it's a sniper shot.
Apparently, she liked a bent dick. I don't know.
It's like a boomerang.
Yeah. It's all about the hook.
Yeah. This seems like an odd segue to go from White Lotus to Sherry's retirement announcement to
back to dicks. Yeah.
What about those dicks? Anyway, White Lotus, check it out.
I'm gonna watch it. I just gotta, get. I don't have HBO yet, but I did watch a show that I think it was Chris recommended, or was it Matt?
No, Chris.
Probably Matt.
And I watched the first episode.
My sister actually recommended.
I'm 2 episodes in, maybe. So
Cindy and I are on. We finished the 6th episode yesterday.
You need to say the title.
Okay.
Because no one knows what you're talking about yet.
Paradise. I'm sorry. And I'm not gonna spoil anyone because if I say something, it's gonna
exactly.
Yep. Thank you.
It ruins it. So I can't say anything. I will say though, when I was watching, I go, "There's something odd about this town." That's all I'm gonna say. I kept saying, "There's something odd about this town." I go, "It doesn't seem real." I just kept saying that over and over again. That's all I'm gonna say. But they have twists and turns, and
it's good, and it's well
Cindy and I are both
directed.
we went through. We powered through, we watched the first one, and then the next day we watched 3. She goes, "Can we just slow this down?" I said, "Sure, we can do whatever you want." And then today I couldn't watch an episode today, so probably finish it up tomorrow. Just great acting. Great
Sterling K. Brown again.
Yeah.
Dude, he's awesome, man.
He has been great since he was in Army Wives. He can
make you cry just describing a peach.
And then James Marsden is awesome.
Right.
Awesome as the president.
Oh wait, I could be the president.
Different,
right?
different. Like it's not James Marsden.
No. That's the sign of a good actor.
No, yeah, for sure.
And you have what am I drawing a blank on his name? His dad.
Oh yeah, he's fuck. I don't even know his name, but he's in tons of shit.
Well, he was in Simon and Simon.
Yeah,
and he was he was angry, but he went on to Deadwood, and what's that show with what's his name? President.
I don't know. I'm looking at some of the actors.
Full House, not Full House. House of Cards. I don't know where I got Full House. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. He played the bad guy.
Gerald McRaney.
Gerald McRaney. Yes, he is.
Which one is?
He is an awesome bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Major Dad. Major Dad.
Oh, Major Dad. Gotcha. That's
Major Dad. He was cool on Major Dad, but on Simon, I knew him from Simon and Simon because I used to watch Simon and Simon.
Yes,
religiously, and he was the angry brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does play a bad guy. Yeah.
But he,
you know what?
If you've never seen him in
if
you've never seen him in Deadwood.
Yeah, he's just ruthless in Deadwood. I mean, he's just cold. Yeah,
he is. He plays Hearst.
Yeah,
Randolph Hearst.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just gonna not look at any more of the actors on this or who they are.
Yeah. Don't spoil yourself.
I'm only a couple.
It's not. I'm not really spoiling it because he does.
I didn't know that this person was on there, so thank you very much.
Yes,
now
Randy, Simon
the whole show's ruined.
in San Diego.
The whole show.
Yeah, but the show does, and I mentioned this last week. I'll reiterate it again. But the show does a really good job of letting you think you know what the fuck's happening,
right?
And then constantly ripping the rug from under you, which which is like what brings you back. It's just a really good chemistry of a show. It's done in a really good way.
If you like
the
Lost,
ending of the 5th episode got me. Cindy goes, I can't watch the show with you if you're gonna.
Yeah, I can't even listen to Jack anymore.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I feel like you're just 5 seconds away, Jack, from saying something. Okay, like seriously. So we get it. We get it. You're a sleuth.
All right.
But I was completely, I was completely wrong. That was the thing.
Yeah, I know.
I started thinking. I go, wait, and she goes, "Can I just watch the show?"
Yeah.
She goes, "I don't like to theorize." I go, "Yeah, but I'm just."
Thank you, Cindy.
So yeah, we should get off the point of Paradise because just watch it. Don't look it up.
It might have
get into it.
You don't want to get spoiled because it's like almost every episode at the end you go.
I think I was also too like because I was like, okay, I'm looking for stuff, so I was like extra paranoid as I'm watching it. But just watch it, enjoy it. It's good.
Yeah.
And if you like Lost,
but I heard about it, but I wasn't spoiled. So that I'm glad I wasn't spoiled because I think it would ruin the episode.
Yeah.
Chris,
so
Matt, great recommendation, Matt.
Nice job, Matt. So I
next time
I caught up with and actually now I'm current with the new season of Reacher.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
It's Reacher, it's like it's exactly what you expect out of the show. Not the episode that aired today, but the last episode before that, like they did the writing on the show, like they're really having fun with it. Like I laughed out loud at a significant amount of the dialogue in the show when it was like very tongue-in-cheek humor, but it was just so fucking ridiculous. Like I'm sitting here in the same exact chair watching on my monitor, and I'm like in tears crying of how like ridiculous the show can be. But it's still very, very good. One of the characters this season though has got to fucking get murdered because I can't stand her fucking awful excuse of a Boston accent.
Is the actress from Boston though? Maybe
no,
she talks.
She's from England. I looked it up.
Well, that's it right there.
It is the worst. Like it's worse than Kevin Costner from fucking JFK. Like it's actually that level of awful.
Well, wasn't Kevin Costner from Louisiana?
I don't know. Whatever.
He wasn't he was from Louisiana. So
I don't give a fuck where he's from. His accent fucking sucks.
You probably thought he was from Boston.
I just fucking think he's from Boston. I know he's from fucking Boston. But my point is that it's actually from people who live here. It is an unbearable excuse. Jesus Christ. It's an unbearable excuse for a Boston accent. It's very, very cliche.
Well, I'm going to watch it because I even asked you if it's any good. You said, eh.
Well, yeah, it had a little bit of a slow start, but it's cooking. They do a really good job of like, putting him in these like unbelievable scenarios that you're like, shit, he has like no way out. Right. And then the magic of Reacher is figuring out how the fuck he's going to do it. Right. So,
and he's a big guy, so he can't escape.
Can I ask you a question though? Because
small spaces.
They kept going into houses and, beating people up, and they never wore gloves. And I'm thinking, okay, eventually someone's going to have to take fingerprints, right?
Well,
I mean, they're touching everything like this.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of evidence left behind this season.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Last time they left evidence behind. I know he's on. He just is a drifter kind of guy.
Yeah, and then there's another, and I'm getting to. We haven't seen it yet, but they're alluding that this fight between Reacher and this dude who's significantly larger than Reacher.
Yeah, because I remember when you said that, I said no one could be bigger.
He's a fucking monster. Like he is so goddamn big.
He's bigger than the guy from Game of Thrones.
Probably taller. Yeah,
taller.
But anyway,
I couldn't. When I saw, I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, he's huge.
Because Reacher, the guy, the actor plays Reacher is like chiseled.
He's yoked, like it's ridiculous. And they definitely have a little extra of the gratuitous naked Reacher scenes. And for
Alan Richson,
for those who are interested in that.
I hate when he shows his penis.
Let's see if IMDb. Yeah. IMDb says his height is 6'3".
Yeah.
Okay.
But the check out the actor who plays Paulie.
6'4". So
check out the actor who plays Paulie. How big is he?
He works out, man.
Sure, but he's still shorter than me.
What do you do? What are you like? $170?
$160. Sometimes more.
Well, Reacher's like 250, and there's not an ounce of fat on him.
He's just disgusting.
But I'm still taller. That's all I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
still taller.
I'm sure you could take him.
So yeah, that's the show. That's the show that I've been watching.
Taking Reacher,
I would
about Reacher taking me.
I'm just saying.
And then a quick Lost update, Lost Watch update. So we just watched up through. I think we're halfway, if not 3/4 of the way through. She was falling asleep the other night. Further Instructions, season 2.
Yeah.
So we've gotten through a good clip of Lost. That's at 25 episodes at this point. Got through the entire first and second season now, right? Wait, is that right? I'm on season 3. Yeah, I'm on season 3 now. That's not even that's a lot of episodes.
Wait, you're on season 3?
Episode?
Wait, what episode am I on? When's Further Instruction? That's season 2.
I think it's season 2. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on season.
Because I want to ask. I can't wait till she gets to Nikki and Paulo, and she goes.
Oh yeah, so we got her. So Further Instructions is actually the introduction of Nikki
season
and
3.
Paulo.
That's season
So
3.
it's got to be
episode
season
3.
3.
Season 3.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because I was going to say,
First 6
last
episodes
time
of season 3. Remember they did 6 episodes and then they didn't come back until
For a while. Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah,
Last
maybe I am
time-
on season.
last
Yeah, I'm
time
on
we
season.
talked-
That's right. I'm on season 3. Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
last time
blew
So
the
what did
hatch.
she think of Nikki and Paulo?
Okay.
So you if you may or may not remember, like we just get introduced to Nikki and Paulo, and they have very few lines in the first episode they're in. So they're just present in the background, and he starts talking, whatever. And I actually did. I looked over to see if she would like pick up on that, and she didn't mention anything, which is interesting. But I will say though, I know I've been mentioning how like perceptive she's been. The opening scene of Further Instructions, right? And just a refresher, I mean, you might not remember, is Locke waking up and opening up his eye as he's laying down after the hatch explodes.
Where he says, "I was wrong," and we said, "Yes, Locke, you were always wrong."
He's always
So,
wrong.
so at that point, she leans over and she goes, "Dad, that's just how Jack woke up on the island." And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. How do you know this shit? Right?
Maybe she should do a podcast.
Like she
Bush
just
probably
has
remembered it. I mean,
she's a very good memory though.
So
Yeah, I have been. But she has a very, very good memory. And she's picking up on a lot of these things. And I was like, man, that was really perceptive of you that you figured that out.
I can't wait to hear if she liked Nikki and Paulo or she hated Nikki and Paulo.
Oh, she's gonna hate them. Obviously, she's gonna. Nobody likes Nikki and Paulo.
But you know what she's going to do for the next 2 weeks after she sees Razzle Dazzle?
Dude, nobody likes Nikki and Paulo.
I mean, it does have Carl Weathers in that episode. I'm just saying.
Chris is going to fix the
Carl
jury
Weathers
on
is
this
so
one.
cool, man.
I think she's coming out hating Nikki and Paulo.
Yeah.
What if it starts off with Nikki and Paulo and she's like, "Dad, is that Lando Calrissian?"
No, baby, that's the guy that Drago killed. Yeah.
So
she
but the one thing,
the Brazilian Tom Cruise, right?
So the one thing that she really does not like about watching some of these episodes, though, is some of the jump scare, like combination of the music and jump scare stuff. So, like as an example, when Locke goes into the sweat lodge, right? And he at the very end, the polar bear comes out and snaps at him, right? You know, like that shit freaks her out. The episode that was when Claire was remembering being in the examination room where she starts getting some of that memory back.
Right, yeah.
Like that music, like Giacchino's like score to that section and the way that they kind of did it was almost like jump cuts, right? Jump scare, and it freaked her the fuck out. She's like, I don't fucking like that. But other than that, she's absolutely like in it to win it. Loves.
Wait till she sees Squirrel Baby.
Oh, I know. I was waiting for that. I was like, I couldn't remember when it was.
That's season 6.
That's like fifth.
Is,
yeah, it's like fifth.
Yeah,
that's 6.
So yeah, it's been good. So the best part though was the opening of season 2, when it opens up in the others camp and everyone's coming out and seeing the plane. 3. Season 3, sorry. Everyone comes out and looks up and sees the plane breaking apart, and she's like, "They're on the island. They were on the island. I knew it." Like it's just like seeing her like put all that shit together. It's just it's a delight. enjoy it.
I'm hoping I get at least one of my grandkids. Because I know Jay's going to watch it with Alex and Zach. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping one of my grandkids, I can watch Lost like this.
Yeah.
I think it's just a cool experience.
It's very cool. Like
since my kids are older, I wouldn't.
She's upstairs right now, absolutely pissed off at me that I'm recording. I got home from work. She's like, "Sorry, are you going to watch an episode or two?" I go, "I told you, kid. I got to record." She goes,
At least she's not. I give her credit. She's not online cheating and stuff like that. That's great.
Dude. She's not. I know her search history.
Nice.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mentioned this show last time I was on, like Invincible season 3, excellent. Just ended tonight, I think, or last night, the last episode of season 3. Because like Chris, I know that you said that I think just watched season 1, that was it.
Yeah.
And season 2 took forever to be released, and then they did it in halves, and it's such a drag, as in just the story. It's kind of a big long stretch, and you're like, what's going on? But then it pays off in season 3, and season 3 is just a great season.
What show?
The story's great. Like I know the story. I've read it. It's very, very good. So, it's just it takes a minute.
So Jack, we talked about this a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago. So it's called Invincible. It's a cartoon that's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
It's a comic book.
Oh yeah,
story. Mm-hmm. And Chris and I both had the same reaction. Like
I thought it was a show you guys hated.
No, it's great. Like in the first episode, though, the entire first episode, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Because it's just this boring, nothing happening. And in the last 2 minutes of the first episode, you're like, holy shit! And then from that point on, you're hooked. It's just
so it's like the Ramble cast.
Yeah, exactly. How'd you know? Yeah.
I just took a guess. Are you guys caught up with Severance?
By Robert.
Severance is over though. It did.
No, Severance got a new episode came out tonight. Actually.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
Okay, that was because the 8th episode, a lot of people hated it.
Oh, I had so many thoughts to tell you guys.
And I'm like I go, why did people hate that episode?
Okay,
I don't understand the hate for it.
Which one was this one?
I'm just going to say that for the
none of the main characters were in.
Cobell's. It's Cobell's episode.
We learned the backstory of Cobell.
So
okay, so I guess the last one I watched is.
And guess what? They're around. It's in an icy area.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the RCAD. The last one I watched is the RCAD story.
Yeah, that's the last episode.
Okay, yeah, that's that one. I like that episode.
I thought it was good.
Me? It tells you so much, in that episode about the potential of what all this is about.
Yeah,
people. I was on our Facebook page. So they have a thing. I go.
I mean,
Facebook sucks.
To me, it reinforced a lot what we've all been saying is that most likely they're in a remote Canada or Alaska or somewhere like that. It's a town owned by Lumen. They're all basically owned by Lumen, and there's all of this severed within severed. There's so much potential of where it can be, and then there's also this weird kind of Scientology kind of vibe to it as well.
Yeah, because when Tom Cruise appeared in it, I'm like going, are you kidding me?
So I have not seen all of the most recent episode. I suffered a severe dad nap. Blame it on the fact that there's a lot of quiet moments in this show.
Yeah, I can see how that could happen. It's not very actiony,
So daylight savings and what have you. So here's the thing. So I'm watching, and it's the first 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, awesome, we're getting this backstory. Really excited about what's happening here.
Yeah.
And then I doze off. And then as you do, you wake up and you kind of like, I'm back. I'm
on Gomer
I'm
Pyle.
still watching what's happening here. Except I don't realize that it's changed. It just the episode ended and it just started playing The Gorge. And so I wake up.
I like The Gorge. It's not.
I wake up. I haven't seen all of The Gorge, but I'll tell you this much.
You're like, man, Severance took a twist.
I was like, I didn't realize there were monsters.
Bruce's son is in,
and they're shooting these monsters with rifles, and I'm just like, I don't know who this guy is, but
did you have some edibles before
familiar.
you went to,
I had slept. I was waking up. I was confused.
So
it took me a minute, and then once I saw one of the monsters, I was like, "No, this isn't Severance. This can't be." So I paused the TV, and I was at least 15 minutes into the gorge. So,
Matt,
high praise for the gorge. Might watch it at some point.
The first half of the gorge,
sleeping and then waking up to stuff like that.
I think The Gorge was a movie that they didn't exactly know what they wanted to do with it. I enjoyed The Gorge. I felt the first half is excellent. Not excellent, but a good, solid start of intrigue and mystery. And then it's just kind of like, let's end it real quick. And
I was going to watch it, but someone suggested Paradise.
Oh, yeah, Paradise. I had to watch Paradise. I mean, you got to go with Matt's recommendations. So
always.
Matt is usually spot on, except when he falls asleep, wakes up, and it's a different show.
Matt, I did want to in this current episode of Severance, because you're the first one at least. I mean, because it's just us four that talk to each other anyway. But you're the first one that kind of put that out there with the Patricia Arquette of maybe she is severed too, and she can't go past a certain thing.
Yeah,
and I think that could be a really good theory. Or because like you're told somewhere in this episode about how smart she is and how she kind of developed some of these things that Lumen is doing, but has been ripped off her entire life by her thoughts. And I wonder if the frustration in that episode is because of this, or is it because she's actually the very first severed person?
Or her aunt's just a bitch.
Oh, that too, yeah. But like I wonder if she realizes that, and so that's why she can't leave, is because she put like this boundary of severed around this town, and she realizes that if she goes past a certain point, she's fucked.
Right.
And so that's, I'm saying, like, but Matt's the one who implanted that seed in my head. So It's like, that makes sense. You know?
High five, Matt, because you did the same thing with me.
Mm-hmm. And yet I still fell asleep during the assignment.
I was really
excited to see this episode because I wanted validation for my Rose and Bernard theory.
Well,
you know, like even if I get close to the mark, I win. You know, so I was like,
hey, you gotta take the win.
And this show is on another level of like.
Well, I like pieces. This season they're bringing in actors that you haven't seen in forever, like Robbie Benson and Jane Alexander, who played the aunt. And I go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other actor that they're bringing in is called Commercial Break.
Oh yeah, true. Okay.
They bring that Commercial Break in every now and then, but
that actor doesn't pay shit.
And the brother was it's been in Justified. He was also in the what's that movie with Keanu Reeves and
Bill and Ted.
Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who goes, "See you in hell, Johnny."
Yes. I knew him from something. I couldn't think of who.
Wait, who is this?
He was the guy that like drove her to the house. Right.
Oh, right.
So the whole time he's talking, I'm like going, "See you in hell, Johnny." You're bleeding out. You know what? You're bleeding out.
I kept thinking RoboCop.
You're gonna die before you get to the ground, dude, because you're bleeding out. I played
Chris, you broke this news at least to our little random chat.
There's some news coming up on Shrinking. So Cast Edition will be playing what's his name's father is going to be Jeff Daniels.
Who's supposed to be good?
The guy that's actually dead.
No, the main character. No, well, if you go by that theory, Jason Segel's
Jack's
character.
Theory that he's in the car crash and he's in a coma.
Yeah,
yeah.
So his father will be played by Jeff Daniels, which I think is pretty awesome.
That'll be interesting too, just because of the
Keanu Reeves right back.
The I don't know the father kind of relationship that he has with the Harrison Ford character. You know,
yeah.
So
I saw Harrison Ford on a commercial. I'm like going, is this dude? I go, this dude is acting more than he ever did before. He's doing a Jeep commercial.
Cash in, man.
Because I watched. I don't know if you guys watched 1923.
No,
it's really good.
1923.
But he's in 1923.
Oh yeah,
Helen Mirren is his.
That came out a couple.
It was a teen summer flick about Jack's graduating class.
I'm not quite that old. You know, if I was that old, I'd be dead. Right?
It's American Pie for Jack.
American Pie. Hey, we got some cows over here. Anyway.
Other things like I'm trying to think of other things that came out.
Randy said that. Where did he say it? Wait, hold on.
He said he saw Jeff Daniels play Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird on Broadway a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Dark Winds is out.
That's what I was about to say. Dark Winds. I don't have AMC, but I have to wait a year.
I don't have AMC either, but it's on Hulu.
And then Righteous Gemstones season 4 also started Sunday.
You guys got me on all these shows. I'm falling behind on Reacher. I'm falling behind.
Well, if you quit watching MASH all the damn time,
I'm not watching.
I'm just on my 5th rewatch of Cheers. Okay,
I'm watching. My Name is Earl because it's been so long since I've seen it.
Sure,
it's like new to me.
Yeah. I started watching like one of those Jamie Priestley. That dude, that was.
Wait, hold on a second, Catalina. I mean,
she's smoking too. Yeah.
She's Jason Priest is hot, but.
I started watching like in the background when I'm doing shit. I started watching The Young Rock. You ever see that?
Oh yeah.
I watched the first episode.
I watched the
pretty interesting.
I watched a good portion of the first season.
Yeah, I finished the first season. I'm on season 2.
Okay.
Quick episodes. Your half-hour show, with commercials.
And it's got that wrestling aspect too.
Yeah,
I became a wrestling fan with Hill. I probably would have watched. I watched that for Life's Party.
It's definitely it's a different type of show altogether, but it's good. Yeah, I like it because they kind of do like all these references and like you get these cameos, these actors playing old school wrestlers, right? So you have like the Junkyard Dog, the Wild Samoans are in the episodes I've seen. So there's tons more, like Macho Man Randy Savage, the Andre the Giant, like there's tons. Yeah, there's tons of characters in there. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool,
What's he, Slim Jim?
Snap into it. Yeah, snap into a Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. Slim Jim.
Well, I need to go back and finish because sometimes you start a show and you stick with it for a while or what have you.
Yeah,
I'm that way with most shows.
Yeah, we know Jack. Yeah.
I was
on your
curious.
25th rewatch of I Love Lucy now.
I wasn't a huge fan of I Love Lucy. I mean, I watched
the woman.
You got some explaining to do, then, Jack.
Yeah, it's the same episode every time. Yeah. Oh, is this the one where Lucy does something that Ricky tells her not to do?
Yeah.
But she does it anyway.
Yeah. On my flight back yesterday, I watched a documentary called Aliens Expanded, I think, which I had never seen or heard of. And it's a really good, like 100-minute documentary on the second Aliens. No, about the aliens. It's all the cast. It's James Cameron.
The movie.
Yeah, the movie Aliens. Yeah, from 1986. And it must have been made just right after Bill Paxton passed. So maybe
2024
which also was last year. But it's actually pretty good. And they tell you a lot of little nuggets in there about it, and how they were cast and how much freedom that James Cameron actually gave them to develop their characters. And it's really like how much that movie means to all of them. They're they love it. It's actually a really good documentary.
So what is that on the streaming channel? Did you?
I watched it on the plane, so it was just one of the, so it was just a free to watch on the plane. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and
nice.
And
I felt the same way about that Raiders documentary about the guys that made the handmade kind of version of Raiders. Like it was just kind of one of those things that you're just like drawn into that world. But it'd be cool to see more footage, I think, from Aliens or even just some behind the scenes, because I've seen a lot of stuff with Star Wars, so it's
always interesting when a movie you like or a TV show when they go back and show you how you said I Love Lucy. I mean, not Ricky Ricardo. Desi Arnaz was smart enough to say, hey, no, I'll take less money, but I want the rights to the TV show. And they're like, nope, whatever.
Right.
No one knew about reruns.
Right.
And, Back to the Future, famous, was it?
I mean, it's crazy how many episodes.
What's a rerun?
Yeah, what's a rerun?
Which is brand new.
Yeah.
It's
never
crazy
been
how
on
many,
before.
how many episodes some of those 60s shows have, like Batman. You know, it's like
Well, they did more episodes. They did
They
like
did-
33,
they did a ton
34,
more.
45 episodes.
and Batman aired like twice.
Yeah, that's what they oversaturated it.
Well, they ran it twice a week actually.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me that you.
So, Nick, you mentioned a documentary, which made me think. Well, there's a couple of documentaries that kind of caught my eye that I'm super interested in. And they're both in theaters right now. I just haven't had a chance to go to the movies. But the first one is Becoming Led Zeppelin. Have you guys seen this? Oh, you saw it. Okay, so you saw this.
It was on. It came out. It was released. I've got it written down. To
February 5th.
February 5th.
Does it have Jimmy Page in it?
In select theaters. It was down in Boulder, but I wasn't going to drive down to Boulder. It should be coming out on Netflix, I think, in May.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
But yeah,
So it's about Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's a lot of found footage. It's a lot of from '68 before their first record was released. And it's a lot of it's got great reviews. I really want to see it.
Does it have Jimmy Page's 13-year-old girlfriend?
I don't know. And then the other documentary that's out right now, I think it was actually only out for one day, which was maybe yesterday, the day before. But they made a documentary about the movie Rad.
Oh yeah,
really?
I think you shared.
Oh
that,
yeah, you should.
And like, I'm super interested in seeing this, but like, it was like the only way you could see it though is you go to like this double feature where you'd actually watch Rad and then the documentary.
Nice.
And I was like, I just don't have that much time to dedicate to going to a movie theater.
Probably like a 4-hour thing, right?
Yeah, I you can't catch me doing anything for 4 hours not getting paid. So
clearly you don't have children.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully that will become available on streaming platforms as well.
I have hemorrhoids. I can't say.
But Rad. One of my favorite movies as a kid.
Who's in Rad?
Nobody. Oh, actually, Lori Loughlin.
Oh, Lori Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin is in it. That's where I had one of my first boyhood crushes of was Lori Loughlin, and when she rode into the senior prom on her BMX bike and danced with her bike, it was so hot. What else? Who else is in that movie? Bart Connors was played by who's that fucking? He was like a super popular gymnast in the early '80s. And he's a commentator now.
Richard Simmons.
Jim Cotta?
No, the blonde dude.
Kurt.
Bart Connor.
Kurt Connor. Bart Connor.
It's Bart Connor.
Burt Bacharach.
No, it's Bart Connor. Yeah. So I remember because he was like a gold medal gymnast, I think, in the early '80s.
Oh, there you go, Miami Mike. Bart Connor. After we already said it.
Yeah. And they cast him in this movie, I believe, because he had such popularity from his Olympic run. Fun fact: he was teammates with one of my buddies I grew up with. Was heavy into gymnastics, and his instructor, his teacher, was Tim Daggett. And Tim Daggett was a teammate of Bart Connor.
Really? There's also a guy that was very popular. He made a movie, Jim Cotta, but he actually died.
Oh.
In real life.
I thought you said Burt Connors.
Burt Connors? I don't know.
Isn't that the guy from Groundhog Day that he punches in the face?
Is it Burt Connors?
I don't know. I can't remember. He always walks up to him and he's like, "Hi."
Oh, the guy from Deadwood.
Yeah, he is.
Have you guys seen Deadwood?
Yes.
For fuck's sake!
How long have you known us, Jack?
Do you even?
How long have you known me?
This is his third podcast of the day.
That's true. His brain is
can't expect him to.
Plus, I'm like
remember
old.
all of these things.
I can't remember my grandkids' names. How am I going to remember what we talked about?
Start yelling at the kids and calling them little cocksuckers.
Well, the second youngest, he now calls me Poopy Head.
Oh,
all the time. He said, "Hey, what Poopy Head?"
You've lost them, man.
Thank you.
Animals are running the zoo.
Jerk. Poopy Head. Poopy Head.
At least you don't have to deal with.
Speaking of poopy, the newest episode yesterday or day before yesterday of Mythic Quest was all about Poopy.
Oh, that's
Is there a
another
third season?
one. That's another one.
I gotta get back onto that ship.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Why?
No, is there a third season? Because I'm on season 2
of Mythic Quest,
of episode 7.
Oh, yeah. Well, the current season that's out right now,
It's 3.
I didn't know there was a third season. I'm asking, is there a third season?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Well, in one season, I think it's the second season, you find out that Ian, the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, has a son, and who he's never fathered. Really, Ian, he never really had anything to do with him, and he's a podcaster or a web person.
That was a reveal that I was like, I did not see that coming.
Okay. Well, there's another
Poopy,
in this
with Poop or Poppy.
Poopy. Yeah. No, not Poppy. Not her.
Poopy?
Yeah.
Well, he does the four buttholes.
Yeah, the 4 buttholes. Yeah. So this current episode is all about him, and it's going. I was like, I don't care about you,
Matt. If my grandkids wanted to paint with poop, I'd let them. Just saying.
Hey, fart is art, my friend. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
If I'm an artist, and art is all about your imagination and what you create. If they want to paint with poop, I let them paint with poop.
Weird.
Well, this is an old saying. This is back from the first 3 stupid guys, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Matt said, "Nope, I'm not going to let my kids paint with poop."
Well, there was something going on with poop art at the time, and we were discussing it, and you challenged me, and you were just kind of like, "Why won't you let your kids make art with poop?"
Why is there corn?
And I'm like, "Why? Why would you? That's disgusting. That's how you get pink eye."
But look, the guy that sold the banana for $6 million. It's a fucking banana with duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they could have been millionaires right now. Paid for college.
Yeah, I wanted to mention this before we get too far off, but like the other documentary I watched on the plane. Yeah, I know, too late. Yeah. The other documentary, I'd seen it actually before, like a year ago or 2, and I'd forgotten about that. I'd watched it until I was watching it. I've seen this, but it's just called Belushi, and it's about John Belushi, and it's really good if you have not seen it.
I've not seen it. I love John Belushi,
and because like he apparently he kept a lot of journals and it goes through his childhood all the way to his death, and it's got everybody in there that you actually what it was a lot of it's just audio with but because like they did a lot of interviews with all of his friends for this, and so you hear everybody like Carrie Fisher, you hear John Aykroyd, you see everybody, even Chevy Chase, like you hear like everybody, and it's actually really good.
I didn't even know it was out there. I'm going to see that because I was a big John. I was one of the celebrities that died that I actually got emotional with. Well, I don't know him. What do I care?
Sure.
Well, that's what
it's also like he died too young.
He died too young, but it's one of those things where you kind of realize that like he's one of those people that he was probably always destined to die young. Because that's what like Aykroyd I think was talking about, that like when your drug of choice is that kind of adrenaline and that kind of chaotic thing, once you've gone as high as you can go with it, there's nothing else. And you keep chasing all these other things, trying to get that, like any drug addict would, and you're never going to get it. And so when you have the top movie in America, on the top show in America, and a #1 album all at the same time, and you just have success after success after success, like there's nowhere to go. And
they showed him on lost my train of thought. Okay,
my man says it was from 2020. Yeah.
Oh, Belushi was 33. He lived a good life.
He was only 33.
That's not too young.
Yeah, most of them the same as like Chris Farley. Like a lot of those guys were.
Even Phil Hartman. Come on, like
Phil
Hartman, the whole way that his life went down, and of course, we've all been privy to the Gene Hackman story, which has been really kind of tragic. And
I feel bad for the dog.
Yeah. So, but
Why don't we take another commercial break and just reset this thing?
After we talk about death for a minute, yeah.
This is a perfect place to put a commercial.
At James Mortuary.
Yeah, like if you guys are, It's one of the best advertisements you've ever seen. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's I think in the Tube in London, but all the sign says is "come a little closer," and you're walking towards the tracks, and at the very bottom in fine print it says like something is something funeral home. I mean, yeah, it's like Jesus.
There's a commercial on XM radio where the lady goes, she's talking to her husband. I had such a bad dream. You were in a car accident, and our family.
Oh yeah, that's a TV commercial as well. Yeah, I got taken aback by that. Like
I go, what the fuck? I go,
yeah, I got. You were in a car accident, and we were fucking broke.
Yeah, we had to leave our house. That's terrible, hon. What?
Yeah, not that he died.
You messed me. It's like, fuck you. We were left with nothing.
Oh, honey, I had this terrible dream. You were in this car accident, and well, shit, we didn't have any fucking money, and it sucked. So what the fuck?
I had to turn tricks to make ends meet. It was terrible. I'm glad
buy term life insurance now.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only. It's Ethos.
Yeah. They actually, it is a TV commercial as well. I was sitting there watching that. It aired during something I was watching recently with my daughter, and I was like, I hope she didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, I listen to this like 10 times a day because I listen to the XM, and I'm like going, Jesus Christ! How about saying, oh, and I missed you? No, It was all about I'm losing my house. We're on the street. Well, that's terrible, hon. But isn't term life a pain in the ass? And that's what he says, and I'm like going. I go, nobody sees anything wrong with this commercial. It's playing. I go, it's like it's so heartless.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't want to have to go out and get a job. It's pretty sexist commercial. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like she's not capable of going out there and supporting the family.
Right.
Way to go, Ecos.
Yeah. Suck on it, Ecos.
And I still can't remember what I was going to say about Belushi.
We haven't either.
Hey, is anybody? Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I was saying, it's good. Like you see that, basically after 1941, he really tried to clean. He actually hired Nixon's bodyguard. During I forget what years, but to keep him
bodyguard recorded.
Yeah, right. No, but it was just he had him for like a year and a half, just to keep all of the hangers-on away from him, to keep the drugs away from everything, and he was basically clean for a year and a half. But that's when Carrie Fisher kind of starts to come in with the audio, saying the problem with people like her and the people with John Belushi is they can get clean, but the thing is that when you have suppressed emotions and things that you can't deal with, you don't know how to deal with them, which is why you do drugs. And there's no one there to teach you how to deal with this suppressed issue. So all you do is immediately try to find something to suppress it again. And if there's no one there to stop you, you'll just go right back to it. And it's just kind of, okay, something else.
No, Matt said something in the private chat.
I didn't want to spoil people.
I'm guessing, I'm going to go out and say probably not.
Okay. All right. Just putting that out there.
But, with Belushi, though, the original cast, I mean, they just went from, unknowns.
Right.
None of them were anything. I mean, you didn't know anything about them, and they went to boom, they just exploded.
And they do address, Jack, because you said it a few times that Belushi hated Chevy Chase, and it's not really that's the case. It's just that Chevy and Belushi had worked together before joining SNL, and Belushi always wanted to be the Papa Bear of everything. And he only got the B's. That's the only thing he was ever in for the whole first season was just the B. And he couldn't stand that Chevy took off and he didn't. And so when Chevy leaves after season 1, that's when you see the explosion of Belushi of being, the main guy. Yeah. And it was
Belushi was a genius, but so was Chevy Chase. Yeah. I mean, he was just extremely. The cast was extremely fun. Jesus was only 33. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
didn't know that. Wow.
Well,
but Jesus was kind of a hanger-oner. So anyway.
It says Mike said Belushi and Aykroyd had a cocaine budget negotiated into their Blues Brothers contract.
That's awesome.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
It always disappoints me too when I say that line and nobody gets it. I'm like, you guys are sick.
Hey, look like you're racist. No, I hate Illinois Nazis.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I hate Indiana Nazis.
We're on a mission from God.
I'm on a mission from God.
Yeah, but that's that. They actually talk about
small.
Yeah, they say that. I forget who. I think it might be. Why am I forgetting his name? The guy that was in the Ghostbusters, the director that died.
Reitman.
Reitman.
Yeah.
I think it was him that was talking about that the Blues Brothers is when the first true crack happened. Like there's times before that where he would go kind of irrational, but he said the Blues Brothers was the first time where you could see where the drugs were finally becoming a bit more dominant than Belushi, because like he said, and they showed one scene in particular. So you can see in like some scenes he's perfectly John, he's perfectly like on, he's doing it the best he can, but then there's certain scenes where you can just tell he's phoning it in because he's just too out of it.
Really?
Well, he didn't
he
didn't like the female ensemble on SNL.
SNL, yeah. Well, that was interesting. They don't talk about that a whole lot. They do
he
talk
did say
about
Jane Curtin. He did say Jane Curtin was someone who could go toe to toe with him.
Well, that's more. They don't really talk about necessarily him. I think he loved the women cast. It's more he didn't like the women writers, is what they say in the documentary. Is that when the women writers would approach him, he would read it and say, "You're not funny," So it kind of got to the point where they just said, "Well, Belushi doesn't think women are funny," and and he never denied it. He never said like And so
I know Jane Curtin has come out and said that she felt kind of uncomfortable around him about as far as
I think that's everybody though. Like that's like you just watch the documentary. I don't want to spoil it too much, but
I will watch it because I'm a huge John Belushi fan.
I started watching that movie, the movie about SNL, like the hour leading before the first episode. Yeah. I didn't get too far. I think I watched about half of it or so. And I thought that was interesting, like when they were walking, doing this like a little walkthrough, and you kind of get that introduction of John Belushi's character. Yes. And however accurate that portrayal was, like he was a fucking dick. Yeah. He was a real asshole. I never knew that. I was like, oh, weird.
Well, they talk
that's
about
what I inspired to be. I'm inspired to be a real.
They talk about that as well, in the fact that he came from theater, he came from improv, he loved being on stage, he loved doing everything just as it came to him, and he did not want to be on SNL. He's like, because he hated TV.
Should be on SCTV.
He thought it was the lowest form of kind of like Andy Kaufman. Like he thought it was the lowest form of comedy.
Yeah. I really liked the actor that they got to do Chevy. Like I thought that he really
he was
did
spot
a good
on.
Riddler.
He was very good.
Like
is that the same guy?
Yeah, the guy from Gotham.
Yeah. Oh no
shit. Riddler. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he does a really good job of just portraying that. I don't know, Chevy persona.
Yeah.
And I like.
What about the
like
guy that got to play Milton Berle?
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Talking about penises again. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know.
You brought it up, dude.
I didn't know Milton Berle had such a big penis. I didn't know that he was a. I know he was a dick. I know he was an asshole. Because you listen to the old timers talk. He was just kind of and he was terrible on SNL because he didn't want to do it their way. He wanted to do it.
He's a big shining star.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he was. I mean, when TV first came out, he was
Mr. Television.
Yeah, he was. Texaco Theater. He was a big deal, but he had a big deal, and he had a huge ego. So,
all right,
yeah, and he wasn't even on cocaine.
No, not like George Carlin.
Oh man, I love George Carlin.
Yeah, George Carlin was hilarious.
And you kind of wonder, what he would think about today's world.
Oh, exactly. He talked about it. Like, he
knew what was coming. But you still want his commentary though on it.
He predicted the future. He was so goddamn smart.
Yeah.
Well, he's bald. He's losing his hair, so that.
Well, he has some.
So he's like a bald hero, Chief. Have you watched the George Carlin doc as well?
Yeah, it's so
I've
good.
not watched it yet.
So good.
That's another one on Max.
I'm waiting for Matt to
get Max
promote it, and then I'll go watch it. Matt's usually spot on.
I talked about the Carlin thing. I don't know.
That was a year ago.
I'm just fucking with you.
We both did. Yeah, it's good.
And I've also recommended Heels, but I get it. It's got women in it. So
I loved Heels.
Yeah, I keep waiting for Chris to text us any day now and go like, it finally got picked up for the 3rd season.
Dude, I can't wait. It has to. But it's funny you mentioned that was kind of a segue-ish. I did watch the first episode. I don't know if I told you guys about this or not. I did watch the first episode of Suits LA with Stephen Amell. I don't know how I feel about it.
But you watched Suits, the original, right?
I did, yeah. That was my binge show last year, which I loved.
What was that show you guys watched? It was so terrible that you watched.
Manifest.
Manifest. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for COVID, we never would have watched it.
Oh, bullshit! Don't try to blame COVID. You guys were hooked on it.
Well, there's a lot of shows during that period. Like, I mean, what was the one with the guy that all the tigers?
The Tiger King.
Tiger King, yeah. Like, I mean, that's the only reason why that was successful because there was nothing else to watch.
COVID was 5 years today. Everything got
shit! That's right. Huh.
So it's not got a lot of good. I mean, it's the IMDb is like 6.5, 7.5.
COVID.
I don't know. You're talking about Suits LA.
Suits LA.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I gotta watch it. I still haven't watched the original.
Like he paints on like a really like gruff sound. Like he's definitely changes his voice for the character, and it's kind of jarring because I know how he sounds. And
right.
It's like,
right.
oh, he's really got this raspy like I don't know. It's yeah.
If it doesn't succeed though, that means, huh?
Yeah.
That's why
his voice in Hill was different than Arrow.
Yeah, but he had like a southern drawl because that was kind of the big accent right there. But I will say though, at the end of the first, you kind of get it's kind of like the backstory ish. Where did he come from? Who's this character all about? You're trying to establish the characters.
God, Night Joe.
I don't know if it was the first or second episode. I can't remember. I haven't picked it up since.
Where did it come from?
They did a really nice job of explaining like what's the thing that like his trauma, like how every character's got their major flaw, right?
Well, so everyone in life has something.
They did a really good job of developing that for him, which I thought was really cool. So the writing seems to be pretty great. What's it
on Netflix?
I don't know. Yeah, it's on Netflix. I have to go back and give it another shot. But I wasn't super impressed over the pilot. But
should I watch the original first or?
Oh yeah. If you've not watched Suits, you should watch Suits.
I've not watched a single episode of Suits.
Suits is excellent.
Suits. We got Suits.
Suits excellent.
Studio.
There is
original on AMC, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Meghan Markle's on, right?
She is. Yeah.
There is a show that I was wondering if Nick had picked up and watched yet. Daredevil: Born Again.
Oh
no, I have never gotten into Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
I even watched.
Nothing against it.
I know it surprised me actually.
I know my nephew really loves Daredevil.
I watched.
He's been hyping it up like crazy, and I'm sure at some point they'll not make me, but they'll want me to really watch it. It's the same as with Paradise. Like my sister really got into it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And it was like, you got to watch this show called Paradise. But it's one of those things where I don't 100% trust her opinion on stuff.
So Nick.
So when Matt recommended Paradise, like, okay, it's got to be good.
Yeah. Fair enough. When I say, okay, I got to watch it because Matt likes it.
I will say though, Nick, I actually feel like the previous season, or how many seasons has it been for Daredevil? Is this like the second?
There were 3 on Netflix.
There were 3 seasons on Netflix.
Oh, this is the 4th season?
It's
they're tied. They're not the same, but there is a transition to.
Because I missed the season. I watched the first 2 seasons.
So it's
there's a third season.
Just one point, Chris.
Yeah.
So the guy that plays Kingpin, it said that recently. It said that they wanted that so badly to be a connection to the Netflix series. And that's one of the reasons why it's going to work. You know, like at least they feel like it's
100%, 100%. Yeah, like, and I if I can give you my honest opinion on the whole Daredevil, part of the franchise, I can honestly say that without any reservation, it's my favorite Marvel TV show.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's very good. Like it outshines literally every other show, in my opinion.
Did you like it, Matt?
Yeah, I did, and I'm doing a rewatch now. Nick will like it because it's gritty.
I won't like it, or I will.
No, I think you will like it because it's gritty.
It has
violence,
Mighty Ducks,
and it takes Marvel into a darker tone that you've kind of been.
Which I love. I love dark.
Yeah, it's super dark. Yeah,
and it's physical combat. So
it's very good.
Yeah,
like there's the fight choreography is absolutely
really
insane.
Good, yeah. I agree.
You believe Amanda's black.
I really did like the first seasons, and when I heard it was coming back, I think they handled the transition into this series perfectly.
Yeah,
and I think it's gonna allow the show to be as good as it can be.
Third season though.
Yeah, it just launched like the 2 weeks.
Wait,
ago.
so there's 2 seasons.
This would be 4 technically.
So I missed the third season.
Okay, you can watch the third one.
No, I'm just saying I didn't realize the third season is even out.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the second season is when Punisher shows up. So
because he's on.
He's the actor from
Walking Dead, and Bear.
The Bear.
Yeah, he does a good job of kind of filling that character. So
put down the spoon, Jack.
But no, there is a third season.
Fork or whatever.
I keep trying to get Cindy to watch The Bear. She won't watch it.
Well, Bear's great.
I go.
I have been
Bear.
I've been making the bear sauce, by the way, and that's like, I cycle through some like certain recipes that I really like making. I'll make it like once a week for like a couple of months or whatever. And I did find like a TikTok chef who like watched an interview or read an interview with Maddie Matheson from The Bear, and he actually revealed what the recipe was for the family Sunday sauce. So he replicated it, and it's super fucking easy to make, and it's so goddamn good. Like my daughter crushes it, and I add like ground Italian sausage or whatever to it, so it's like a little bit more heavy, but it's fucking amazing.
You should try Cindy's
sauce.
So
it's just a sauce, right? They put on spaghetti or what?
Yeah. So fuck
ravioli,
it. I'll give the cook. I'll give the cook. Right. So I have a Dutch oven. Right. So in the Dutch oven, I'll take
half a bed.
Nice. I'll take half a stick of butter, and I put in the Dutch oven. I let it melt and get into almost like a little bit of a rolling boil of butter, and then you take garlic and basil and some salt and pepper and all that type of stuff, and let it wilt and get in there. And then you add like a couple tablespoons of tomato paste, swirl it around, and then you take 2 big cans of of crushed tomatoes, throw those in there, more basil, salt it up and everything. And I forgot one. The second step after the butter is that you put half an onion. You slice an onion in half and put it into the boiling butter, and the sauce gets built on top of this onion, and as it kind of like bleeds into the sauce or whatever. And then you add more basil, as I mentioned.
That onion trick sounds like a good one.
I put crushed red pepper in mine, so it gets a little bit of a kick to it. And it's super simple, and it takes like 25 minutes, 30 minutes max to make. It's not an all-day sauce, and it's one of the best, if not the best sauce I've ever tasted.
See, Cindy's sauce, she appreciates cooking it because it takes all day.
Yeah, this takes like half an hour.
That's on for her grandmother made it. Her mom didn't kind of make, but she learned it.
I'll send you the TikTok video that I followed to make it.
Cool.
But it's so fucking good. And the only thing I do differently is I actually add
nice.
I add the sausages to it. So
of course, yeah.
Well, Cindy uses Italian sausage, but the only reason we got married is because of her sauce.
Mm-hmm. But now you can't eat or cook it anymore anyway.
I know I can't eat it anymore because I'm not
Jack,
allowed to eat it.
Dude, Jack, you should just make this sauce and be like, Cindy, try this.
Yeah, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get in more trouble than I usually am. I did have a funny story about the doctor. I had to go to another doc. I finally got a primary doctor, but the nurse
doc. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, whole fist area. Yeah. So Moon River. No, so I'm talking to the nurse, and she didn't have much of a. I like to joke around, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have much of a sense of humor, but she goes, I guess I have.
You're the fifth old guy today.
Yeah. The person I had the week before said she goes, the new doctor I had for another problem.
Doctor?
Another doctor.
Okay.
She goes, are you stressed out? I go, no, why? She goes, you just have this look on your face. I go, no, I'm just listening to you. I go,
always.
I didn't know. So this nurse is like going on. She goes, are you worried about this? Are you stressed out? I go, no, I'm just listening. She goes, look, not everybody that has diabetes dies from it. I go, well, you know what? I go, I wasn't even thinking that, but now I'm thinking it. She goes, oh, I didn't. She was from, I think, Jamaica. She goes, I didn't mean. I go, no, that's okay.
You're like, you know what? I had this dream last night, and you got into a car accident.
Exactly. I just looked at this nurse, and I'm like going, I go, I wasn't even thinking about that. I go, what? I can die from it? What are you talking about? I go, oh my God. And she goes, oh, and she just was like, I don't know. She was just. Well, it is what it is. But my doctor he was cool. So the new doctor I have. So
it makes me think of that episode of Seinfeld where Elaine draws the eyebrows on.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, what? Yeah. Sure, you're gonna have to check your attitude.
You need to calm down.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah, she was this little. I don't know. She just very. When she said that, I'm like going, I wasn't even thinking that. She goes, no, if you eat, I go, I've been eating. She goes, then she said about the pills. I go, I've got like 7 or 8 pills now. And she goes, are you taking? I go, I don't know. I go, she goes, what is that pill? She goes, you don't know the pills you're taking? I go, no, they give me pills. I take them.
That's exactly how I am.
I go, I don't know the name of it. And I said, what? She gave me one. She goes,
S.
I go, is that the happy pill? She goes,
LDS.
She goes, what's the happy pill? I go, oh, the pill that's supposed to make you happy. She goes, what is that? I go, I don't know what it's called.
It's gummy. It has 30 milligrams written on it. I don't know.
She goes,
it says back pills.
Yeah. She goes, no, it's she goes, Zoloft. I go, yes, that's the pill. I go, she goes, you should know the pills you're taking.
This nurse sounds like a fucking idiot.
It's like Nurse Ratchet from.
I like how she held you to task, though. It's like
I said, I don't know. I said, what is that one called? She goes,
like she's holding your chart at this point. Like she knows what the fuck the pill.
Yeah, she's like, why am I having?
She
goes, you're just taking what anyone tells you to take. I go,
yeah, that's your dad. What the fuck? Why are you getting this like the Spanish Inquisition about your goddamn medication?
I said, the doctor tells me to take a pill. I take the pill. And then when the doctor came in, because the one pill makes me really nauseous. He goes,
larger.
Well, we give you a shot.
Makes you small.
You give yourself a shot once a week, but it
go ask Alice.
Suppresses your
it was epic.
Your appetite. He goes, but you've already lost so much weight. I don't want you to lose any more weight. I go, well, I guess I won't take the shot.
Hey, don't take that. You don't need it. Yeah.
No, I just said I don't. So they gave me some nauseous pills, pills to take. I'm just like going, but that nurse, at the end, she was pretty cool. But I was like, first I wanted to go, man, can you get someone else in here? she is horrible. Are you stressed out? No, but I am now.
You keep asking me that. Yeah, the more.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Did you No, if we happen to have any emails waiting for us.
I think we have a few lying around, but we don't we have to squeeze in another commercial because there are so many.
Yeah,
we should do that.
What are you asking Matt for? Matt doesn't know how to get the emails.
Well,
it's true. He's just got the producer sweater on. I was like, I don't want to fuck with him.
Is it cold where you're at, Matt?
No. Actually, I'm wearing shorts. It was just kind of.
I'm wearing shorts too, but I just.
It's cold here.
It's warm.
Our basement is even though it got up to 70 something today, our basement's a little bit more chill. So.
Spring is here. Today. I mean, pollen blowing all over the place.
Just fucking angry.
I hate the pollen. I mean,
Nick's just trying to get a commercial break.
He's stressed out. Jack's just. Yeah.
Well,
Are you stressed out about this pollen?
I am stressed out about the pollen.
People don't die from pollen.
Yeah. Well, if you inhale a lot,
you never know. Did you see the trees and the gorge?
I have not seen the gorge yet. But the thing that kills me,
Jack, Matt saw half of it.
No, I just woke up.
We don't have blowing pollen in San Diego. We didn't have it. But here you got all these fucking pine trees.
I didn't see the trees.
Fucking pollen blowing everywhere.
You had Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have nasty pollen here too.
It's 1 year we had a drought, and it was like fucking Dust Bowl.
Hey, you know we're having a drought right now of not having yet done a commercial. So
okay,
now
check.
And there it is. So I actually, you guys might remember a couple years ago now. I took down a bunch of trees in my yard before.
I do remember,
just after I got my solar panels.
Why would you kill a tree?
Oh, because they're fucking Satan's
because you hate
ball hairs.
Yeah.
Satan's ball hair in my fucking front yard is all. I had these like 50-foot pines. I had like literally 20 of them.
Yeah, because you live near the mountains.
Pine trees are fucking useless. Am I right?
They're fucking awful, right? There's
no reason for them.
They make your lawn like turn to shit,
and pine cones that like are dropping on my head.
And the pollen from those trees, you could see like on a windy day, it would be like, oh fuck, here comes the goddamn pollen storm.
Those fucking pine trees
everywhere. But since removing 20 of them, my pollen count of my property has gone way down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a very fortunate side effect of chopping those trees down.
Speaking of allergies and what have you, and also Jack's visit to the doctor, I went to my primary care physician. I was like, all right, I need to get this kind of referral to an ENT because I always have these sinus headaches, and they really kind of wreck me, and I have them pretty frequently. And so I just stuff gets clogged or whatever. So take a Roto-Rooter, do whatever you need to do. Let's get this shit taken care of. So I'm going in to see my doctor, and it's like been a couple years, but we talk, and there's always that like, hey, so and so is going to be just shadowing me, and you're kind of like, okay, well, I guess they're gonna get a load of me talking about my shit.
Right.
like I'm going to talk about things like, I don't mean to make you feel bad, but I've got the metabolism where I can eat and eat and eat, So it's like, if you're a big person, if you happen to be like hearing this, it's like I'm going to talk about my medical stuff. Like,
you're no reacher.
Shit balls and all. Like if you're here, welcome. But like, just keep a zip lip. If you see me on the street, just look the other way. Because I didn't. It's like, what do you say? Like, no, get her out of here. I don't want her here. Like I want it to just be a private session. It's like, I guess I have that right.
So you have
I feel like I'm going to be a jerk if I'm just like, nah, I really would like to just.
You should ask, what would Milton do?
Well, if she's going to be here, I might as well drop my drawers. I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, he ended up prescribing me again some medicine that I couldn't tell you. I think it starts with a S.
You don't know your medicine?
I don't. But
it starts with an S. Was it sildenafil? Is that the prescription?
Right.
I don't. It's S. Take this migraine pain away, and it does. It did work because I had one and I took it, and it's like it stops it dead in its tracks. It's like, it's amazing. I was just like, I've never had Tylenol.
Ask your doctor if this is right for you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the doctor be
Here are the
telling
side
you?
effects. You could die.
Well,
Right.
that's the thing.
You
Like,
could
'cause,
shit
like
yourself at any moment.
my best friend growing, from high school, he's a nurse practitioner, and so I was talking to him about
the
it. And
best.
of course, he's like, "What's the medicine?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I knew you were gonna say that." And so I run upstairs and get it, and I tell him, and he's like, "Yeah, that can, like your chest might feel tight because of that." And I'm like, "They didn't tell me that."
Well, they never tell you.
Now
that,
I'm all paranoid, So
Yeah,
it's like that. Robin Williams.
Go ahead.
Well, Robin Williams had a bit about that. Talking about like pills advertised on commercials. I mean, and then talk about. He's like, you ever look at these commercials, and it's like may cause anal seepage. It's like, it's like I'm pretty sure that's not a that's an effect. Like you walk around like, oops, excuse me. Like,
I mean, let's be honest. You're watching these commercials. Why would anyone take that with all the side effects? It's like, fuck, I'll deal with the pain.
Well, that's
I
what
want to have diarrhea dripping down my leg.
Well, fortunately, this headache medicine doesn't do that. But
that you know of, they haven't told you yet.
No, I read through the side effects on the little, because whenever you get,
they're not going to put all the side effects on there for you.
No, of course not. Well, that's why I don't trust a lot of this stuff anymore, because like they're even saying that, like I've read a few reports of like Ozempic even, to where like they're talking about how in some people it's caused like the capillaries in their eyes to narrow so much that they're losing their vision.
Oh wow!
And so like it's only been out for 3 years now,
sure.
So and so like you don't know what the long term effect of taking this appetite suppressing drug will be.
Yeah.
And so like imagine that, like I lost 60 pounds, but now I'm blind. Like shit.
Yeah, right.
But I look good.
I can't. See
I got to see my dick for like 1 week, and then I couldn't see it no more.
Yeah, right.
If I was Milton Berle, I still couldn't see it. People tell me I have a big dick.
Don't we have some emails to get to?
Yeah.
Don't we have some emails?
My penis isn't in Braille, so I don't know.
You have any emails lying around over there?
Yeah, sure. So we have 4.
From Randy?
One from one person and 3 from Randy. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, some of these are. I mean, one of them is quite old because we just kind of had a weird.
We're lazy.
Yeah. So the first one is from February 25th.
Hey, that's my anniversary, and I did
Maggie.
have a pork chop that day. Thank you.
Yeah. So Maggie titled this one "Oscars." Hi, Jack, Matt, Nick, and Chris. Last week, Nick mentioned the Oscars and why Saving Private Ryan didn't win. There is a podcast called The Oscars, What Were They Thinking? Hosted by Bruce Valanche and another guy. I'm sure the other guy really appreciates that.
I didn't know Bruce Valanche was still alive.
Yeah. Bruce wrote for the Oscars for 25 years. Each episode takes a year and discusses which movies won and, looking back, which movies should have won. The most recent episode from February 17th is on 1999. It's titled Saving Private Oscar. I really enjoyed the podcast. They talk about the Oscar ceremony, behind the scenes stories, and movies in general. I haven't listened to 1999 yet. Maggie. February. Okay, so I guess that one is titled February 17th, episode 1999. So yeah.
That sounds like a really cool concept for a show.
It does.
2000s. Yeah. I didn't know. I realized that because he wrote the jokes for the Oscars. Bruce Reliance, whatever his name is. Just saying.
What was
nice?
That? Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear.
I said Bruce Valanche. Is that his name? The pod is doing the podcast. He wrote the jokes for the when the actors come out and they.
Oh, the jokes that fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to listen to his podcast now.
I mean, it'd be hard to like you come out, all of this music pumping, and this is like YouTube, and it's like everybody's just kind of waiting for the next thing. It's like, how do you write a joke for that? It's like,
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
You're writing jokes for people who are probably not comedians, right?
Right.
Or have no comedic timing. So I think it's better when they just come out and do their own thing. But I haven't watched the Oscars in years, and I did finally watch the SNL thing. That was pretty good.
Did you?
Yeah, it was okay.
I forget what year it was. I know I told you guys the story like when it happened, but I forgot until you mentioned that. But I can't remember the name of the theater, but they always would get like really small musicians. You know, like but you might have heard them, you might not have heard them, but they'd play it because it looked like an old abandoned movie theater. It's basically what
like the Wizard of Oz.
But I went and saw John Bryan play live, who he does mostly soundtracks. Like he did Iron Huckabees and Eternal Sunshine Spotless Mind and Magnolia, and he is kind of like a I'm sorry.
Something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But what's interesting about this place is because it's LA, they allow people to experiment. And I forget who it was I went to see play at this place, but it was like the Teen Choice Awards, or it was some award show. But before the act came out, they said, "Hey, we've got 2 hosts that are going to do this award show next week, and they want to test out all of the material on you guys to see if it's any good." You know, and so that was so weird to me, like to hear the jokes before the event actually happened. Really? Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I never thought about that, like someone needing a test audience for the jokes.
Well, a lot of comedians do that. They'll go in front of a crowd. You know, like they'll show up at the
Laugh Factory or
whatever. Yeah, and just they'll do some stuff. If it works, they put it in their act. If it doesn't, then all right. So a lot of times people get lucky that, like a Richard Pryor would show up and do his act or something like that. And people are like, "Oh my God, Richard Pryor."
Right.
Anyway.
Bill Burr does that all the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen, I think we might have talked about this too, Chris. Have you seen that bit where Billy Corgan comes out? And he's like, "Ah, fuck you," like
because they look alike, right? That's
the rumor is that they're brothers, they're half brothers, and
that was all a put on though. That was a work.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the premise of it was hysterical, and like they definitely like, I think they played it out like over a span of like a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Like the drama leading up to it, and I think it was just a big put on, but
it could have been.
Yeah, but still very funny. Like Bill Burr he's one of those dudes that, man, like he's like he's the uncancelable, right? I think he likes
give a fuck.
Yeah, he sets the standard of he's like the guy, right? It's like he's probably the biggest comedian right now of like the the old school comedians, like, and he's such a good performer.
Matt, you recommended him, right?
Matt did, yeah.
I recommended these emails about 5 minutes ago. But.
Yeah, he did. Chris, you did, and he is hilarious.
And he actually has a new special coming out. But anyways, next email.
Okay, sure. So this is the first 3 from Randy.
Why do you look like you're in pain? All right, this is the first 3 from Randy.
I never learned to read. Okay, so like. So this one's titled "Return of the King." Hi, Bees Knees Matt, Pork Chop Jack, and Duncan Chris, and Buttered Grits Nick.
Buttered Grits Nicks.
Wow. I missed the last couple of weeks because I was traveling with no internet access. However, I am now caught up and have listened to all the shows. I need a life.
Matt. Randy. Matt.
He said, "I need a life." I was a little disappointed that you did not. I guess he's referring to me. I guess I was a little disappointed that you did not like Gladiator 2 much at all. I actually enjoyed it.
That was me.
Yeah, I didn't either. So yeah, we might have been harping on it.
Yeah, I think so.
I actually enjoyed it, and I'm not usually much of a fan of action films. It certainly was not high-end art, but I was entertained. Were you not entertained?
No.
Maybe seeing it on the big screen helped. If you listen to the entire AI summary submitted by Dennis, at the very end, it actually mentions and criticizes a joke I sent in about Miss Piggy and Kermit. The AI host didn't get it or appreciate it, which is par for the course. For now, I will let you ponder this. I asked my wife when her birthday was. She said March 1st. So I walked around the room and asked again.
I like it.
Rendito.
Yeah, nice let's just say Gladiator 2 jumped the shark.
Yeah.
And so did AI. It doesn't always get things right.
I literally hated Gladiator 2.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
I'm waiting for the third one.
I thought it was.
I want there to be a trilogy.
Well, there's just a lot of stuff that's really. Denzel did his job.
Gladiators.
Awesome.
Gladiator.
Wow, that's the porn version. No, I'm talking about Gladiator 3. It's in the future. It's like a dystopian kind of like Thunderdome kind of thing.
Well, that would be better than Gladiator 2.
Probably the silly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's silly in the movie, but the first one ends with a glimmer of hope. And that like, hey, Rome was meant to be a republic. We're gonna do this, and then it's the first thing you see is like, yeah, that didn't work out. So, and then it ends the exact same way. Where you're like, we're going to be a republic again. Well, you already know the Roman Empire falls. So it's like, well, I guess that didn't work out for the second time.
Sure, we had a good toilet system, good running water, but it just.
Well, actually, it didn't have too good of a toilet system.
For back then,
you had the sponge,
Well, you had this
and the
sea sponge.
The 3 seashells, yeah.
So.
And you're sitting right next to other. I mean, it's like when in Rome. I guess when in Rome, but you're like going, man, you stink. I mean, it's
well, and they also vomited too. They would eat and then they would vomit.
Yeah.
So,
but they would have like these bathrooms, these public bathrooms, like
weird.
Right, they're huge.
Like 10 toilets, 10 holes, and you're just like, you're sitting there next to a guy, and it's just like, I don't know. It'd be kind of embarrassing. I'm just saying. Then they hand you a sponge, a sea sponge that's been soaked in what? Was it something?
No different than Padres Stadium, am I right?
No, Padres Petco is beautiful. You're talking about Qualcomm.
I don't know.
Qualcomm it smelled like pee.
Oh,
it
great.
did.
Great. Here comes Milton.
It smelled like a giant bowl of piss. It was like a giant outhouse.
How about Randy's emails?
Yeah. So the second one is just a joke.
I'm not gonna fall asleep.
So we need support.
Oh,
as the title for Randy. Happy Ramble Day, gentlemen.
Ramble Day,
gentlemen. Dare I say, gents?
Nice.
What did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob?
Is this one Kermit?
No. If we don't get some support soon, people are going to think we're nuts.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right, 2 for 2, Randy. 2 for 2. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't think you can top that one.
That's good.
All right, the last one's from Randy is an actual proper email.
Oh no!
No, Randy, no.
Okay, sure. We'll let him leave.
Good innings, Randy. Good innings.
Randy.
So the title of this one is Randy's Ratings.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, movie picks. Movie picks. All right. This week I saw 2 movies in theaters, and I liked them both.
Oh,
okay.
I thought Paddington in Peru was just wonderfully magical, fun, sweet, and very entertaining.
Oh, nice.
I did not see the first Paddington movie, but this one looked like a fun adventure. It seemed to have nods to other films like I've never seen this movie or heard of this movie. Fitzcarraldo. I can't say.
Did it have a sagging boob?
It didn't. I don't think it had sagging boobs in it. And Indiana Jones. Paddington travels to South America and the Amazon jungle to see one of his longtime bear relatives. It was just a fun, good-natured film that has lots of heart. It would be a great film for families. It has stuff for kids as well as winks to adults. It's funny. I haven't seen any of those 3 films either. But I remember
3 of them?
There's 3 others: Paddington, Paddington 2, and then this Paddington. And
it's the actor he's in Downton Abbey, right? He's
Paddington, and then Paddington gets a whore. Horse.
Paddington gets laid.
Horse.
Yeah.
The movie that came out like a year ago with Nick Cage, where Nick Cage is basically being Nick Cage.
Yes.
That one, I never even thought about watching the Paddington movies until there's a scene in that movie.
Nick Cage is in a Paddington movie?
No. In this movie that came out like a year ago with Nick Cage,
Paddington's in a cage.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
That's it. The unbearable weight of massive talent. There's a scene in it where the other actor is talking about his favorite movies, and he says, Face Off is yours. And he's like, oh, thanks. He goes, and the other one is Paddington 2. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah. And then later in the movie, they're watching it on the couch, and you see Nick Cage crying. He's like, "Oh my God, you're right! It's the greatest movie ever!" And that's the only time I went. I kind of want to watch it now.
Nick Cage.
I've not seen it though.
I've never seen it.
Trailers for Paddington 3 and Paddington in Peru. So yeah.
Oh, there is a Paddington 3 and Paddington or
no. Paddington 3 is Paddington in Peru.
That's what I thought. Okay.
This is the most I've ever talked about Paddington.
Or on the show.
How do you get a name like? Is there a backstory? How did he get his name Paddington?
Paddington Station.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's from Paddington Station.
It's like an English thing.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Yeah. To continue with Randy's email, this is a movie that I actually want to see as well. I might go see it Saturday because I have time now to actually go to the movies. Which is Mickey 17. Which is a wild science fiction film by Bong Joon-ho that features Robert Pattinson. Bong Joon-ho I think he's the director who made Parasite as well.
It's Parasite.
Set in the near future, the plot follows a man who joins a space colony as an expendable.
Oh, yeah.
Disposable worker who
he dies
cloned.
all the time?
Yeah, he dies all the time.
Okay, I want to see that too.
Yeah, he gets cloned every time he dies for research purposes. There's some dark, over-the-top humor, but I wouldn't call it a comedy. My only criticism is that it could have been a little shorter. Oh, okay. It was an enjoyable watch and looked great on the big screen. I like them both. Check them out.
Nice.
That movie, I did see the previews. I said, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Matthew Treese liked it.
I'm trying to look up to see how long the movie is here. So, just curious.
As long as Paddington. He's got a long one. He's like Milton Berle.
Well,
okay.
He's a porn star, man.
Well, that brings us to
2 hours
the
and
conclusion of the
17
emails.
minutes.
yes.
Right. And the conclusion of our show. Yay! Sorry, I kind of drifted there. This daylight savings thing is just fucking with me still. I'm blaming it on that.
Are you sure it's not that medication you don't know the name of?
Yeah.
Medication you don't even know what it does to you?
No, it's called No, I'm not taking the medication all the time. It's only if I get a headache. It's not like
that's what they're telling you.
So you're the wife in the current season of White Lotus.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, to be clear here. To be clear, Maggie's email, which was from February 25th, and I have a log going right now of these migraines because I'm seeing a specialist. I've had 4. I've had 4 since that period of time. This is how
I only have one like once a year, every 2 years.
Tonight.
So you think it? Okay, but it's not a visual migraine. It's just like a pressure.
It's a pressure from my sinus. Sinus cavity area. So that's why
I can't imagine having 4 because they suck.
I mean, it's it can take a long time for me to recover from that sort of thing. So the fact that this stuff just kind of stopped it in its tracks. So
that's good that stuff's working.
Yeah, and I'll be seeing a specialist sometime at the beginning of April. So hopefully I can get this thing kind of solved. So anyway, the show was an hour and 40. Really an hour and 40 like that. Oh no, 2 hours and 17 minutes. Yeah, that extra 17 minutes. It's like
that is what George Lucas calls the sweet spot.
Yeah. 217.
Well, anything between 215 and 225 is the sweet spot.
225.
Because anything longer than that, then you lose the audience.
Yeah.
That's why every Star Wars film is between those times. If you didn't
really? So yeah, there's a joke there somewhere. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, anyway, at this point, we'd like to thank all of those people that joined us in the chat live. Of course, Randy for writing in like so many times.
Randy,
Miami Mike, thank you for creating that AI review of our show. Not Dennis.
Yeah, and Sherry, congratulations on retirement.
Yes, congrats.
And she made it to the end of the episode, so she must be retired already, technically.
I know. She's walking out that door.
Says, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a flying fuck about.
Is she getting a gold watch?
Maybe. By the way, my kids thought that it would be funny if Apple made an Apple Watch that was like a pocket watch. You know, like it was all styly. Like you just opened it up and then it's like a, you know, you can still program it and do all the Apple
They
Watch.
were all the rage.
They were called Nanos. And
in the 1800s, they were all the rage.
I don't know, man. I just work at a fruit stand.
True. All right. Thank you, patrons, for making this show possible. If you want to help us out, go over to YouTube, subscribe to just Ramblecast After Dark, type it all out, subscribe to our YouTube station there, or send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
And don't forget to listen to the other podcasts on the network.
And you can subscribe to all of the Jay and Jack.
The number one podcast is The Amazing Race, but nobody's counting.
But don't listen to Padres talking Padres, because
that's not on the network.
Well, we thought it was about the Catholic Church, and it was just extremely disappointing.
I got a confessional for you, kid.
The patrons that make this show possible and all the shows on the Jay and Jack Network would be Maggie the Magnificent. Thank you for sending in that email. Glad that we got to it finally. All of us were finally together, as well as Joanne with the plan, Ed, the cool letter carrier, and Eckhart, last but not least, Glatfelter. Richter.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing what you do. All right, gentlemen. See you guys next week, most likely on a Thursday.
I got to fix this chair.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Milton.